Welcome, one and all, to episode 2 of Nubian News. I am Quasar, and I will be your narrator. Wolf is taking some time off, so I will be flying solo. We give you the news from the north, to the east, to the west, to the south. Nubian News. Also, I do need your help. Let's subscribe, like, and share. Subscribe, like, and share, people. We're going to start off with the good. First story is coming out of Elk Grove Village, Illinois. We have Chanel Meringue. She is the founder of Oak and Hair. It's a furniture store where she crafts some of the finest furniture. It's pretty good, actually. Here's a little example. Support the sister. Have her hook you up a dining room set, living room set, some sort, or even a kitchen set. She plans on leaving this to her son, the 7-year-old son, in the future. That's all good. Next story, coming out of Houston, Texas, we have Trey the Truth, the rapper from Houston, Texas. Right now, he's helping out families during that beta flood that happened in Houston, helping them out with food or whatever else they might need help with, going around and see who might need help. It's all good. I don't know if you ever heard of Trey the Truth, but you hear of him today. There's many good things he have done. He also helps this lady who got robbed outside of her house here in Houston by gunpoint. He helped the sister out, see what she needed. She needed support financially or whatever. But he was there to give her a helping hand. That's all good. Trey the Truth, once again, doing good. So here we go again. We have Trey the Truth. During that flood also, he was out on the roadways helping people that were stuck. Their cars were stuck out there. People that were stranded and marooned. He was out there with his big truck pulling them out through flood waters and helping out any way he can. So this brother out there really doing it, where other people out there can but won't help. Here we go again. Trey the Truth. He helped give away a $10,000 giveaway to help families and people that was in need during Hurricane Harvey, I believe. That's all good. Once again, we got Trey the Truth helping people out at the Astro World Travis Scott concert down here in Texas. It turned tragic. They had like 8 dead bodies and put them in the VIP area, and that was kind of a shame. And they kept the concert going, and that was all wicked. Something was wrong with that. But Trey the Truth helped out families with their their loved ones, and helped get them buried. That was all good. When nobody else helped, he did. We got another story. Trey the Truth. He's seen his sister get her truck jacked at this gas station down here in Texas by these 2 young punks right here. So he went and helped the sister out when she got her truck back. It was kind of dented up pretty bad. So he helped repair. Nobody else came to help nobody, it seemed like. His brother out here really doing it out there, helping people out here in the trenches. Keep up the good work, Trey the Truth, man. It's all good with me, man. All good. Now we're going over to University City, Missouri, where we have Jeffrey and Pam Blair. They are the owners of a children's bookstore, and it's called I See Me. It's some African American bookstore because it's actually what we really needed. So young black kids can go in and see books of themselves instead of seeing books of everybody else. So therefore they can open up a book and say, I see me. All good, all good. Keep up the good work, Jeffrey and Pam Blair. It's good to see that there's still rays of light out there in this darkness. And you know how this go. We go from the good to the bad to the ugly. Now I'm going to turn it over to another segment we call the bad. We're going to start with the north. This story out of Detroit, Michigan, I don't know if it's bad or good. We got Marcellus Cornwell. He started the weed vending machines. He's been doing that for 4 years, selling weed out the side of his house through a vending machine. He's pretty smart. It was a genius idea. Even the police had to say so. They was mad at him, but they was like, man, that was a genius idea. You was way ahead of your time. So 4 years ago, for the last 4 years, he's been selling weed out of vending machines at the side of his house. He take debit cards and Apple Pay cards. That was ingenious. And he got several different types to choose from. Here's a small example. Here we go. Check it out how he did it. It was creative and ingenious. This was way before the dispensary, so this guy was ahead of his time, I have to say. But unfortunately, you got to pay the penalty when they caught up with him. He got these alphabet cops ready to do some bad things to him as a result of his actions. But here they go. He takes debit cards, Apple Pay, so now he got to deal with all these alphabet cops day in his life. But Marcellus Cornwell, I have to say I don't know if it's bad or it's good, but you did what you did, man. I bet you everybody start doing the vending machines after you did it. I bet you that happens. But all good. I mean, bad. I don't know what to call it. You tell me. This story is out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We have Jonah Moore. She was the owner of the Brownstone nightclub out there in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Sister did a good job, opened up her own business, but unfortunately some knuckleheads had to come in there and start some messed up stuff. But here it is, we got Crystal Tucker, ended up dying. Actually, it was 3 people shot, 2 guys and a female. The 2 guys survived their injuries, but Crystal Tucker was taken to the hospital where later she died of her injuries. Rest in peace to Crystal Tucker. Sad to see that. Crystal Tucker, rest in peace, sister. Sad to see a sister go. And these knuckleheads trying to make the sister Jonah Moore lose her club. It's all bad, but it's all good for that sister. Keep up the good work. Keep your club going. We got to deal with the good, the bad, and the ugly in this world. Warrensville Heights, Ohio. Here we got Benny Washington. He's charged with murdering Adriana Barnes. The girl was missing for some time and nobody could find her. And all of a sudden there was a cleaning lady that came by to clean up this guy's apartment because I guess he scheduled her for a certain cleaning dates and times when she came through. She had a key. As she was cleaning up, she went to the balcony after a foul smell and she found the girl that was missing, Adriana Barnes, dead under a pile of clothes. This dude's sick. He actually murdered this girl and left her on the balcony under a pile of clothes like nobody would notice. I don't know what he was thinking. Or if he wasn't thinking, I don't know what the deal was, but that's messed up. This girl lost her life. And rest in peace, Adriana Barnes, rest your soul. Sad to see. This story's out of Akron, Ohio. Lady sitting there, she get out of her car, taking her groceries out. 13-year-old boy run up on her, started shooting at her, and took her car. So now he's charged with carjacking, UUW, and all other kinds of felony charges. The 13-year-old kid, she probably would have gave him a few dollars to help her with the groceries or something. Remember them days? But not today. This 13-year-old wanted her car, brought the groceries and everything else. It's a sad world we live in. Here's a little clip of the dispatch calls. The police dispatcher actually asked her, what are they shooting at you with? She's like, what do you think? They shooting at me with guns, you knucklehead. You get your butts over here and help me. What kind of world we in? Nubian news, from my block to your block. We're going to go into another time zone. We're going to take it over to the East Coast, Flatbush, Brooklyn to be exact. Now, y'all Uber Eats people that deliver this food, man, people robbing people at gunpoint and knives and whatever else, man, to take the food and take your money. Here's an example. Delivery driver worked at gunpoint. He was just dropping off some food, trying to make some extra few dollars probably to feed his fam. But somebody ended up taking his food and his money, so now he can't feed nobody. What kind of world, what kind of stuff is that, man? You got to be thirsty to do something like that, man. Real thirsty. All bad. There go another story. East Harlem, New York City. This time the delivery man was stabbed and his food was stolen. I gotta take that back. They ain't just thirsty. They hungry and thirsty. They taking it all. The food, the money, the drink, whatever you got. Be careful, delivery drivers. Sometimes it's all bad. We got more negativity out here in New York City. This right here story, we got the trio. 3 people pistol whipped this woman and smashed her car with a bat while her 2 children was in the car. I don't know what she did to deserve that, but it's more to that story, man. Crime Stoppers looking for these 3 people. You got some info, hit them up, earn some bread. It's all bad, man. This story's out of West Oak, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The police found 3 guys, all in their 20s, found shot to death. And it's all in retaliation to an incident they got into it earlier. So they got into an altercation with some people and they retaliated by killing all 3 of them. You got to be careful with that beef out there, y'all. So it turns tragic sometimes. New York, New York. We have Aaron Nathaniel came over to the park with his guns and shot up the park, sprayed the park with bullets and trying to hit somebody, I guess, and he ended up killing 14-year-old Aliwa Diratimi Ayubola. Their friends call him Timmy. As he said, Timmy was not the intended target. Timmy was just out there playing basketball, and he tried to shoot somebody else and just aimed wrong. He just dummy with a bonehead. Anyway, Aaron Nathaniel got 10 to life. All bad. Okay, we're gonna go into another time zone. We're gonna go into the West Coast, Oakland, California to be exact. We got these three boneheads right here: Shadihia Mitchell, Herschel Keontae, and LeRon Gilbert. There we go, LeRon Gilbert. They're accused of killing Kevin Nishida. Kevin Nishida was security for a TV crew. The TV crew was out shooting some footage, and these guys decided to rob them and take their cameras and their video gear. What the three boneheads? At spur of the moment, they said, let's bust this lick. So they decided to bust this lick. Nikita was working security. They ended up killing the man. Now he can't even go home to his family or nothing. He was just trying to earn an honest wage. These three boneheads, all bad. Compton, California. Here we have 31-year-old Latrell Hicks. Got into an altercation with some guys on the corner. A couple Latinos. I guess it got real heated up. They started fighting. The two guys end up stabbing Latrell Hicks to death. It's kind of tragic. So now they're on the lookout for these two guys. They got a $20,000 reward also. So if you went to the Crime Stoppers, you could make some dollars. There you go. There's the two guys right here. It's a little bit of footage. It was all caught on a corner cam, so to speak. And intersection cam there was. And some of the altercation was caught on tape. Here's some of the clips. He was just walking down the street. He ran into these two cats. They got into a little altercation right there. And next thing you know, he got heated. And they ended up stabbing him to death. And they took off, never to be found again. Sad story. Rest in peace. Rest his soul. Latrell Hicks. Looking for these two guys right here. Call them Crime Stoppers. Figure it out. All bad. I have a special segment coming up towards the end. It's called You Big Dummy section. So look up, stay tuned for that. Don't go nowhere. Meanwhile, I gotta go to another time zone. We going to the dirty South. Check it out. See what's all bad. This clip you seen earlier, Houston, Texas, some of it anyway, where Trader Truth came and helped this lady out after the incident occurred. You know, she actually had a camera outside her house. So she filmed all of it. But somebody knew she had a lot of money on her when she was coming in. So they just happened to be there at the same time she was coming in with a lot of bread. Sounded like an inside job to me, possibly a relative or who knows. But anyway, they did end up getting the bread from her at gunpoint. Why they have to do that? They thirsty buzzards. That's what that's all about. But here goes some of the clips. Take a look. When you're coming out your house and going inside your house, take a look at your surroundings. Be aware of your surroundings at all times, because you never know what's about to jump off. And when it jump off, a split second, blink of an eye can go down. It's all bad. They end up taking her bunny, took the whole person, ran, drove off. All sad, all bad. Tanya Robinson did what she was supposed to do. Just give them the bread. You only got one life. Baton Rouge, Louisiana. 74-year-old Junius Jones was killed in his home by a stray bullet. The goons outside were shooting at each other. One of the stray bullets went into his home, ended up striking him and killing him. All sad. Stray bullets. That's all messed up. Rest in peace, Junius Jones. The ones who did it, well, you go to pay for your sins. One of these days, at some point or another, even in the next, you go pay for your sins. All bad. Memphis, Tennessee. Here we have Ashley McDonald, age 27. She went to hook up with this dude in Mississippi, 90 miles away from where she lived. She didn't tell nobody about the guy. She didn't introduce her family to him. So when she didn't return from her trip, nobody knew where she went, who she was with. Nobody even know the dude at all, because she didn't bother to introduce her family to him. Young ladies, stop doing that. Rest in peace, Ashley McDonald. Out here in Jackson, Mississippi, here we got Carlos Allen. He was sentenced to 124 years for selling fentanyl to Austin Elliott, resulting in his death. So if you out there selling that bullshit and it kills somebody, they got 100 calendars for you. Leave that shit alone, man. Don't mess with that stuff, y'all. It's all bad. Rest in peace to Austin Elliott. Here's a topic I want to address: carjacking. Next story coming out of Chicago, Illinois, where 3 teens were charged with carjacking a 50-year-old man. One was 12 years old, one was 13 years old, one was 14 years old. 12, 13, 14-year-olds carjacking people. It's not just in Chicago. I want to address this topic because it became serious all over the United States. I'll show you a few examples. This first one we got is out of Detroit. Gas station, warning, gas station, lady carjacked. Next one, Detroit, Michigan. Warning, these 3 right here, they got charged. They actually got caught and they shot a person, took their car. 3 dumbasses. Here we go, Fort Worth, carjacking, right in the parking lot. Atlanta, Georgia. The lady just got to Atlanta, went to a gas station and got jacked. This one, Houston, Texas. Lady went to the gas station, got jacked for her truck. College Station, right in Atlanta. Over and over again, people are getting their cars jacked. Right here in Columbus, Ohio. Is that Columbus, Georgia? We're saying Columbus. Lady jacked. Mobile gas station. Another lady jacked for her car. That's in Michigan, actually. It's going down everywhere. So when you're at the gas stations, people, look out, man, because they tell jacking people everywhere. That's our news from the north to the east, to the west, to the south. If you know how it goes, we go from the good to the bad to the ugly. So now it's time for the ugly. Ooh. Now, when I say the ugly, I'm not calling anyone ugly. I'm calling the actions ugly, okay? Now, here we got New Orleans, Louisiana. We had a 73-year-old woman was shopping. She was getting in her car, and these knuckleheads decided to try to jack her. So as they took the car from her, her arm got caught in the seatbelt, and they dragged her so far, and everybody was yelling, stop, stop, stop the car. And they just wouldn't stop the car, and they ended up ripping her arm off, where she bled out and died at the scene. These 3 knuckleheads was the ages of 17-year-old male, 16-year-old girl, and a 15-year-old girl. Them 3 are all ugly. The story is ugly. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Linda Fricky. Alexandria, Louisiana. Here we got Dorothy Bosby. Her and her aunt is charged with starting a house fire that killed a grandmother and the 3 grandkids. What a sad story. This really is an ugly story. The lady was probably babysitting her grandkids, ended up dying in a house fire. All bad and ugly. Next story is coming out of Somerset, Pennsylvania. We got Michael Merringer, age 53. He's charged with molesting and raping a child for over 10 years, and he has over 200 sex-related charges. This dude should never ever see the daylight ever again. I mean, how can you sit there and molest and rape a child for over 10 years? And he already had over 200 sex-related charges. That dude just wicked. It's not even ugly, just wicked. But you in the category of the ugly, and you off to the pit of the ugly. Michael Merringer, you out of there. This story is coming out of Tracy, California. That's near San Francisco. We got Christine Gardner and Jeremy Jones. They stabbed and shot and killed Justin Peoples, age 30. Justin was actually a Navy veteran. These 3 racist pigs killed him because he was black. They probably had a little beef, a few words, and they was racist pigs anyway. They was prejudiced pigs, and they decided, let's go kill a nigga. That's probably what was on their mind. But whatever the case is, they could have kept their BS to themselves. They didn't have to kill that man. And he went to war, didn't get killed. He come back home and get killed by 2 prejudiced pigs. That story is ugly. Now we take a trip over to Cleveland, Ohio, where these 2 dumbasses, Arnell Johnson, age 22, and Timothy Evans, age 20, shot this girl sitting in her car. She was a pregnant woman sitting in her car. They shot over 21 bullets inside the car, killing her unborn child. She was also due in 1 month. She was 8 months pregnant. Boneheads ended up killing the child, but the mom actually survived. She survived the shootings. This is just dumb. I mean, it's ugly story, because why would you shoot at a pregnant woman inside of a car? I'm sure there was another way they could have went about dealing with that, but 2 boneheads, now they're getting what they deserve. They getting a whole lot of time for that one. 2 boneheads. They young too, they just threw their lives away. Well, now you gotta live with it. Off to the pit of the ugly. And there we have it, folks. The good, the bad, and the ugly. You know, you got in life. We got to take the good, take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of life. It's also called joy and pain. It's like sunshine and rain. You can't have one without the other, y'all. Unfortunately, we had to add the ugly with it. Nubian news from my block to your block. Now we're gonna get into a special section I like to call "You Big Dummy." Out of Fountain Valley, California, we have Samuel Brown, age 33, from San Diego, California. Samuel decided to rob the Fountain Valley Chase Bank out here in California, and he actually robbed it for a large sum of money and got away. But of course, he was caught on camera. But here's where he become a big dum-dum. He went back 24 hours later and tried to rob the same bank again, 24 hours later, and was apprehended. Samuel Brown, you big dummy. The next big dummy contestant is Sharon Carr. Sharon Carr comes from Tulsa, Oklahoma. She's charged with first-degree burglary, where she broke into a house looking for some loot and some valuables. She didn't know that the owner of the house was home and sleeping, so the mom heard her. The mom was there with her 2 kids. She heard her, called the police, but Sharon did get away. So when investigators came, after investigating the scene, they found fingerprints with Cheetos. So they took the Cheeto fingerprints back to the lab, traced it back to Sharon Carr. Sharon Carr, you big dummy. The next contestant on You Big Dummy is Jussie Smollett out of Chicago, Illinois. Now he claimed that they had a race incident where they hung him by a noose, put a noose around his neck and poured bleach on him and beat him up. He said they were some Trump-loving bigots, pigs, or whatever he claimed they were. But anyway, he got caught with staging the whole event, the whole attack. He had 2 big goons, African dudes, rough him up. I don't know why he had to do it. I guess for publicity. He wanted to be more attention. Whatever the case was, you got popped off, and I have to call you big dummy, Jussie Smollett. The next contestant is Darian Parker Bell out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Now, Darren Bell went to the police station to ask information on his buddy, Keyshawn Thomas, who died while in police custody. The officer told Darian they had no information for him, so Darian pulled out a gun, fired a shot in the police station. Now he got all these super duper charges, 7 counts of first-degree reckless and dangerous safety, use of a deadly weapon. Darian Bell, you big dummy. Next story, contestant is identity unknown. It's out of New York, New York. This burglar was caught burglarizing the Chelsea Ristorante Italiano in New York. The burglar guy took the entire register and a couple bottles of liquor and walked away with the loot. Literally walked away. Big dummy walked down the street with a cash register at 7 a.m. in the morning. He was caught on camera, so eventually they're going to catch this guy. But I just want to say, he's a big dummy. He wore no mask or nothing. He just walking down the street with a cash register, 7 in the morning. What a big dummy. Next contestant come out of Richland Township, Pennsylvania. We got 2 teens, identity withheld because they are teenagers, minors. They are brothers, of course. They're charged with murder. The 2 brothers drove to the side of a highway. It seemed as if the 2 brothers were driving 2 cars. One of the cars belonged to them and the other car belonged to the person that was supposedly murdered. The 2 brothers parked on the side of the highway, both cars, and a state trooper passed by there because he seen the blinking lights on the car. So he stopped by to see if they need help. As they pulled over, he seen 2 teenagers coming out the woods covered in blood. And so as he went to the car, he seen the car was covered in blood also. So he went to call for backup, and after detaining the 2 guys, the 2 teenagers, he went to see where they was hiding in the woods, the area where they was walking from, and then over there he found a dead body. You big dummies. Next contestant is David Guerrero, age 17, out of San Antonio, Texas. David Guerrero posted some photos to Instagram. He wanted everybody to know he was the man. He posted some photos of stuff you should not put on social media. And in doing that, he told on himself and his big brother, Ezra Guerrero, who is 21. They both have heavy-duty charges: possession of controlled substances, possessing THC, hash oil, weed, and weapons, and $15,000 in cash. David Guerrero, you big dummy. And that's going to wrap it up right now for this segment of You Big Dummy and the Nubian News. The north to the east to the west to the south, from my block to your block. Next up, stay tuned for our quick commentary. Here we go. Quick commentary. As I review these and other real life stories, I noticed several things in common. One is how terrible things happen in neighborhoods with all numbers. I noticed all over the United States, every state, major city has neighborhoods with numbers. It is also known as the hood. Any area in America that has numbers for street names is a horrible area. It is always, and also occupied by African Americans. It is systematic and it is intentional. Racism is a system, not a person. The other thing I noticed is how we treat each other, so crucial. From family members to the stupid carjackings and the shootouts, shooting up parks. We only do dangerous things to each other only. We see any other nation of people, they all get a pass, no matter the situation. But when we see somebody black, why do we think devious right away with no mercy? All I have to say is really, what's up with that, y'all? Really though, where is the love? Where's the love? We don't have any love for each other anymore. Family against family, brother against brother, mom against daughter, mom against son, everybody against everybody. But we only do this to each other. I wonder why. Remember this, my people. The only ally you got is people that look like you.